Blessed love family, glorify the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. We give thanks for your presence with us even at this moment. Of course, what I'm going to be doing today, I just want to highlight our wonderful sit down that we had previous night, man. Oh man, give thanks for those who were in the house, those who would have missed it. Well, we definitely had a wonderful reasoning as it relates to the origin of the Bible, the mystics of the Bible, the fullness. I'm just going to give you a bit of it in a moment. But right now, before I go that far, family, let us spend a few moments to explain to the family that the time is now, at least at the recording of this video today would be the 22nd, the 23rd day of May. Family, the 23rd day of May, of course, you know, we're going into the celebration of African Liberation Day. Okay, but the 23rd day of May, my family, we are just 1 month away from the summer solstice itself. In fact, we are less than a month away from the summer solstice experience. So family, if you have not made up your mind as yet to be with us in Antigua by the 17th of June, I am telling you from my heart, this is the time for you to take action. Family, as I said, is the 23rd. Tomorrow is the 24th. The next day is Happy African Liberation Day. And remember, this is an international move that you're making. So I'm suggesting that you make sure right now that your tickets are in order for your traveling, that's for sure. Because remember, number one, your accommodations are definitely taken care of on that level, and we have some pristine accommodations for you. In fact, you know, anything that you need to know, all you have to do is contact us. So if you want to see, you know, the accommodations that you would be staying at, just contact us. We will send you the pictures. You can see exactly where you will be residing for the 7 days that you are with us. As I said as well, if you contact us and you need assistance in getting here to Antigua in the Caribbean, that's not hard at all. We definitely have travel agencies that we are partnering with that will assist you in getting the best price for, you know, for your movements, for your travel. So if you're leaving from Mexico to come here, if you're leaving from Belize to come here, if you're leaving from Colombia to come here, if you're leaving from London to come here, if you're leaving from Arkansas to come here, if you're leaving from Quebec to come here, I'm telling you that we can assist you in getting the best price that we can get for you as it relates to your ticket. Now, obviously, if you can get a better price, oh, well, that is up to you as well. So, I mean, family, I'm just showing you that number one, it is very easy to definitely join us this time around. Plus, it is very inexpensive. The whole price for the retreat itself. Well, for you to get that, you got to contact us at least so you can get some information. Contact us at least so you can get the price for your stay, the price for the experience itself, and of course, we can make sure you get the best price for your ticket. But you got to do this now. It's now, The summer solstice is now. Remember, this is an experience that you have to plan ahead. So you can't wait until the last minute and say, oh, I might think I want to come, and then it's going to be a lot of hustle and bustle on all angles. So definitely, family, we usually have a deadline for this, as they call it. We usually have a cutoff point. Somehow we did not decide on a cutoff point this time around, but let us use our common sense. Let us use our understanding, family. I'm saying that those of you who have not at least contacted us, so we have an idea of your interest, please let us know, because obviously we have to make sure we keep, you know, our records too of exactly how many people will be coming and spending the time with us. And give thanks for all of those who have already set themselves to be with us. I'm looking forward I am looking forward, just like in the Tiger's temple. Those are Tiger's nest and mix it with the temple test. That's why in the Tiger's temple, we're always happy, to see our family, those who would come in every strong and interact with us. We had a wonderful interaction previous night, and I will show you that in a moment. So yes, family, remember, we're dealing with 7 days of vibration, Master. Listen, number one, we are dealing with Green Castle Hill. I don't have to explain that to the fullness. And most of you already have a good idea of exactly the powers behind Green Castle Hill. If not, you need to check the book, Anu, Ancient and Modern. So listen, family, if you're not coming, which I expect that you will be coming to Antigua, if not, well, you should at least get a copy of our book, Anu, Ancient and Modern Revisited. Yeah, that goes into the mystics and the spirit of Antigua, plus it gives you a good idea of the powers of Green Castle Hill. By now, most will have a good idea what we are speaking of again. Within the islands of the Caribbean, you have Antigua. Just for those who may not know, this is a place where I was born. It's a part of the nation known as Antigua and Barbuda, but specifically, Green Castle Hill. In fact, let me show you this before we go any deeper. Check this out. On the northeastern corner of the Caribbean island chain sits the gem of the West Indies, Santa Maria de la Antigua. Antigua, renowned for its sun, sea, and sand. It has also become famously known as the Stonehenge of the Caribbean. Situated between the villages of Jennings, Ebenezer, and Bendel's stands Green Castle Hill, 596 feet of volcanic rocks and lemongrass. These volcanic rocks, which are too numerous to tally, naturally protrude out of the hill and are arranged to correspond to the astronomical clock, the solstices, the equinoxes, and the movements of the stars. This has been confirmed by Dr. Maura Imbert, an astroarchaeologist who conducted a study of several keystones on Green Castle Hill. I have visited Stonehenge in England and have seen for myself the methods utilized by the government and people of that nation to incorporate Stonehenge as a part of its economical development through tourism. Infrastructure has been built around the monument, parking lot, museum, and even a restaurant. And of course, thousands flock to the site during the solstices and equinoxes, and millions visit each year. If preserved, developed, and marketed properly, Green Castle Hill, the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, could attract millions as well, in numbers of persons as well as in dollars and pounds. It will provide employment as well as career opportunities for Antiguans, and it would add to the value and appreciation of Antigua internationally. Green Castle Hill has been used for decades as a site for the creation of aggregates and building materials. As it is already a national park, we as a nation should seriously consider Green Castle Hill and preserve it and utilize it, for it is our national treasure and a sacred hill. The nations and nature will applaud us for such actions. I thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. So just giving you a good idea of exactly what we are speaking of. And as you would have definitely heard, one of the main things that we are advocating for, family, is the preservation of Greencastle Hill. That's like one of the main things that we are advocating for. Now, of course, it is a sight to see. I mean, there's hardly another place on the planet. In fact, there's nowhere else on the planet exactly like it. There's similar places specifically, but exactly like Greencastle Hill, no. I'm talking about countless of megaliths, literally connecting to the movements of the heavens. So you hear us come and speak about the heavens. You hear us come and speak about the equinoxes. You hear us speak about the different ages. You see us put up the sky chart and we talk about this constellation and that constellation. All of that is in the heavens. But I'm telling you that on the earth, we literally have a map of that. We have a mirror of that. We have a connection with heaven and earth, as above, so below, as it relates to Greencastle Hill. Now, you would have to see it for yourself, all the pictures and all the videos. It may not give you the best idea of the expansion of this area and how large the area is, and the amount of rocks, the amount of megaliths that align with the heavenly bodies, countless. We may speak of thousands and hundreds of thousands, but we're speaking of countless. You cannot necessarily count the amount of rocks that we have on Greencastle Hill. And keep in mind, what is unique is that the rocks literally come out of the ground, just like a tree that comes out of the ground when you plant the seed, just like a blade of grass that comes out of the ground, that comes out of the earth. In the same way, the rocks on Greencastle Hill grow out of the earth from hundreds of feet, maybe thousands of feet, below the level itself, the ground level, coming up. Because remember, we're speaking of volcanic molten rocks that literally became crystallized to give you what you have on Greencastle Hill. So basically, family, when you visit us, for sure, we will be having two mighty tours to Greencastle Hill. We have a sunset hike and we have the sunrise hike. I want you to understand this very good. We have a sunset hike and we have the sunrise hike. And keep in mind now that the sunset hike will also be coupled with the star watch night. There's so many things that we're doing. The sunset hike will be coupled with the star watch night. Let me give you a rundown quickly on exactly what will be happening when you visit us. Number one, you arrive on Friday, the 17th of June. When will you arrive? Friday, the 17th of June. And this is why, family, when you look to book your tickets, make sure that you can be here by that time. That's the arrival day. So anyone that is coming, we are looking for them to arrive on Friday, the 17th of June. Now, that day, which is the Friday, as I said, that evening, we will have a meet and greet. So, of course, that is when you will get to meet myself and, of course, all the members of Rastafari Experience Antigua. Of course, we'll have a sit down, it's meet and greet, and have a little happy moment with each other and get to know each other. And that itself is going to be a blast. And then now the Saturday itself, we will be having our Sabbath service. And the Sabbath service, of course, Naya Bingi Bobo Shanti Vibration. Make sure you come with your whites now. You're going to need whites for our Sabbath service. We're looking forward to, a wonderful morning vibration. And then now that very same evening, we will be having a wonderful national lecture. So make sure you come with your lecture garments, all of that, just letting you know what to bring, because that evening is going to be an exquisite evening. And we will have several lectures lecturing to you. We're going to have our historians and And our griots will be speaking to you, giving you a good idea of the history of Antigua, even giving you a good idea of the history of the area known as Green Castle, where you have the hill, Green Castle Hill. And why all of this is so important is because the next morning now, that will be the Sunday morning. So now this is Sunday the 19th, Sunday the 19th. No. Yes, Sunday the 19th. So many things we're doing. We're going to begin that morning with our with some beach and yoga. And then the afternoon, we will be having the first hike to Green Castle Hill. That will be the afternoon hike. Now, if you notice, you came in the Friday, you haven't hiked yet, you know, and the amount of things we already did, from the meet and greet to the Sabbath service to the evening lecture and the beach and the yoga, and we haven't done the first hike yet. And in fact, to be honest, we haven't done anything yet. That is just like an introduction for the time that you're going to spend with us. Now, the evening hike, when we hike up to Green Castle Hill, we'll be going up in the afternoon, you know, but it's about seeing the sun set. It's about seeing the orb go down. And when that happens now, obviously the stars will come out. And then now that will begin our Star Watch night. This is going to be wonderful because you got to keep in mind that Green Castle Hill is also a celestial observatory. Definitely, you could see that the ancient ones would have come to Green Castle Hill just to have a good view of the stars, a good view of the movements of the heavens. So some of you who have that app on your phone that you can use the phone and look through the camera or whatever the lens, and you see the picture of the constellation in the background. So the phone tells you what constellation you're looking at. That does wonders up there on Green Castle Hill. But of course, I myself will be there, you know, so we will be pointing out to you without the phone exactly what constellation is which constellation and what stone it aligns with at what time. Is going to be a wonderful session. Those of you who love nature, those of you who love the ecology, those of you who love astronomy, those of you who just love to vacation, those of you who just love to have a good time, this is something that you would want to be a part of. And then now, that is the Sunday evening, isn't it? Yes, that's Sunday evening. We'll be seeing the stars and we're coming down from the hill. The next day now, which is Monday the 20th, Monday the 20th, yeah, that means we're going to sleep all day. Of course not. I'm not going to bring you here to sleep all day. Monday the 20th, rise and shine again. That is going to be the day of the island tour. And that itself is a full day. The island tour, hey, make sure you bring the children to it. We have accommodations for the young ones, you know, everything, even within our pricing, everything is set. So make sure you bring the children too. All right, you don't have to leave nobody home and leave them with granny and all kind of people. Bring granny too. Bring everyone. All right. So we're going to have a wonderful island tour. And the island tour, obviously, as the name says, will take you around the island. And we'll be showing you many of the different historical sites. We're going to show you many of the different special places. Also, that day, the day of the island tour, is the same day of the cannabis tour. All right, and remember the cannabis tour now, we'll be doing that amongst the Nyabingi grounds. Yes, and that's another thing. Listen, so many things. You know. The day before that, when we have the afternoon hike to Green Castle Hill, it's going to be a very festive activity, environment, I should say. We're going to have Nyabingi drums. Even some of our lecturers will be with us on the Sunday on Green Castle Hill. So Nyabingi drums on the hill. I'm not talking about the Sabbath service, you know, I'm talking about the Sunday. The Nyabingi house will be with us, drumming on the hill, keeping an energy. So, you know, I mean, rising up the ancestral spirit, all of that will be taking place on the Sunday. But I'm showing you now on the Monday, which is the 20th. I hope you're writing all of this down, and you don't have to write none of this down here. If you just contact us and say, I would like the itinerary for what will be taking place on the summer solstice, we send that to you. But for those who ain't going to do that, let me continue to explain that on the Monday the 20th, we're also having the cannabis tour inside of the island tour. This is going to be deep. When we go amongst the Nyabingi camp, yeah, man, you'll be sipping some ITEL sauce. Yeah, man, some ITEL food coming straight out of the clay pot, coming straight out of the Jabba pot, coming straight out of the Yabba pot. You're going to definitely full joy that for sure. And then we will seal up our island tour that day. That day is the Monday. Then now the Tuesday morning, that is the summer solstice. The Tuesday morning is the 21st day of June. The Tuesday morning, we will be returning early and bright to Green Castle Hill so we can observe the coming up of the sun. And keep this in mind, that this is the summer solstice. This is going to be a slightly different hike than the hike on Sunday. What's the difference? Well, the hike on Sunday specifically would have a more festive atmosphere to it. The hike on Sunday specifically, we will be, as I said, having music and to be honest, a lot of people will be there with us. But on the hike on Tuesday morning, it will be a bit more quiet. Basically, it would be more so than less, just those of us who will be on the full experience, you know. We will not be inviting the national community. On Sunday, the nation will be with us. But on the Tuesday, it will definitely just be us. It will be much more of a quiet hike, a hike for meditation, a hike for deep breathing. Those of you who like to yoga on the rocks, that will be the hike for that. Remember, it will be the cool of the morning and the upcoming of the sun. So that is going to be a very special and pristine day. So that is Tuesday. Now, Tuesday is not done, because after you come home and relax, because you're going to be a bit tired after them hikes, I don't feel that way. Yes, in the afternoon, we return again to the beach to do another beach and yoga session. Wonderful. That's the Tuesday. Now, the Wednesday, yeah, man, we're not done. The Wednesday, we decided that we will give the family a freedom day, meaning now it's just up to you, because you would have seen by now, you know, the different camps. You would have seen the Rastafari camps. You would have been around the Bingy. You would have come around the Bubble. And I'm not afraid to tell you, the cannabis will be there. You know, so ones may want to maybe return to some of these camps, ones may want to do some shopping, that will be your free day. So you know for sure that you have a date. That will be the Wednesday, the 22nd. You know for sure you have a freedom day where you could definitely, you know, make your moves and do whatever it is that you desire to do. And also that will be our media day. So we're going to take some of the brave ones amongst you to join us on some television programs and some radio programs, just highlighting to the family that you are here with us. And I want you to know, this is very important. One of the reasons why you see us do this is not just to have something to do, you know. Of course, at the same time, we got to be, you know, you can't be stagnant. You have to always be into something for the benefit of your people. One of the main reasons we do this on this level is to bring an awareness even to our nation and the people in general, the importance of Green Castle Hill. Somehow, you know, the people have a strong ignorance as it relates to Green Castle Hill. As you would know, in the last 15, 16, 17 years, we have been the one that have carried the torch as it relates to educating the people of this island about Green Castle Hill. In the same way, you know, that you are sitting and learning about Green Castle Hill. The vast majority of the people in Antigua are learning about Green Castle Hill from us. And it's right there. People pass it every day. In fact, it's being destroyed by the quarry companies for years. There's a reason why they're trying to blow the hill up. There's a reason, because the hill is a connection to the heavens. The hill is a natural magnet to the stars. You know, you cannot deny this. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, not because it's not in Africa. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. Nobody built this, you know. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, you know. So knowing that they're directly trying to destroy this is why the education is so important, you know, to advocate that ones understand the importance of the hill. So that is why now we also created a program where we invite people from the international community to come and spend time with us. Obviously, those of us who are here, when we realize that people are coming in to literally see our Greencastle Hill, which we don't care nothing about, obviously it sends a different message. It definitely makes us understand, you know, the importance of exactly what we are doing. Yes, family. So definitely looking forward to, you know, your presence with that, letting you understand. As I said, one of the main things is we advocating for, you know, the destruction to cease. And at the same time for our people to understand, you know, to have some sort of, you know, appreciation, to appreciate love Greencastle Hill, and of course, how unique it is in the world. So this is why we invite individuals to come down, and obviously we start by inviting new people, our family, you know. I mean, this island, let me tell you a little secret, it's one of them tourism islands, eh? You understand? So they're more interested. I'm just telling you, I don't want you to feel bad. It's not you they're looking for. They're looking for the tourists, the high end of people and XYZ and so on and so on. So, but of course, you know, we definitely come to our people first. We come to our family. You're the ones we want to come to see exactly what is taking place here in Antigua, you know. So that is why I come to you, my family, and let you understand that we're opening the doors. It is you I want to come and visit Greencastle Hill. I want the nation to see that you have come from wherever you came from to observe Greencastle Hill, to spend time on the hill. Some of us here never been on Greencastle Hill, you understand. And I must be, you know, I must show some appreciation for those of us in Antigua who have answered the call that we have given many, many times and have visited Greencastle Hill. We have taken thousands of people up on Greencastle Hill who would have never known about Greencastle Hill because of the years of advocating, you know, to the populace to come and see exactly what we have to offer up in Greencastle Hill and what is being destroyed. So the double hike that you'll be having to the hill, which is just a piece of the experience, that alone will fill you up. I mean, the first hike you take up there, you may not even want to leave, especially since we're going to be there in the evening and see the stars come out and all of that. You may not even want to go. So when you visit us, family, you know, when we do the media presentation, family, what it does, it assists us actually in not just bringing an awareness to the hill, but showing the nation and the people the importance of the hill, you know, and even to help in the advocating of the destruction of the hill to cease. And again, it may look simple, family. We're not just talking, it's years of conferences, meetings with government officials, meeting with the parliament, and making our presentations in the cabinet, and so many different things, my family, doing business plans and doing requests for grants, so many things. And you have to understand, this is a big project that we have on our hand. Nobody finances this. We have no financiers, none whatsoever. You understand me, family? And this is a serious project to save the environment. People talk about saving the environment and all of that. I think it's just mockery. It's political. You know, there are many people we would have written to internationally who talk about saving environment as it relates to Greencastle Hill. Family, we work hard on this project here. This is not just a talk shop. We work hard on this project as it relates to preserving this national treasure that we have, not just for Antigua, for the world. You can't rip out the heart of a place just like that. The region itself will feel it. The planet itself will feel it. You know, so this is why I want you, my family, I want you, my people, to understand the importance of this battle here. And that is why it's not just about, you know, buying a ticket and coming and having a vacation. Listen, if you do that, that alone will be worth it. If it's just a vacation you really want it, this is it. You know what I mean? I don't think you can get a better vacation, not even if you go and look for Mickey Mouse at Disney World. You cannot get a better vacation than if you come and spend 7 days with us in nature, in the sun, in the sea, in the sand, in the mountains, around the bingy fire. I tell fool, this is also like a wellness retreat for you. This is almost like a wellness retreat when you're done, because remember, it's ITIL and vegan and vegetarian food that we will be offering you. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's all in the package, family. You need to check out the package. It's all in the package. Very, very, very inexpensive, and for sure very economical, I would say. And then of course, so that's the Wednesday, and as I said, that's the reason why I'm highlighting the importance of the media day, so the family can know that you're here, so the nation can know that you're here. Of course, there'll be more people that you'll meet and greet on the Sunday hike for sure, but that is the afternoon hike, and as I said, our people will be with us. But when you do the media day, and we do a few television programs and a few radio programs, the brave ones amongst you, that as well, you would have assisted tremendously in bringing an awareness to this nation of the importance, reinforcing, I would say, the importance of Greencastle Hill. So I'm definitely looking forward to your presence with us with that. And then the Thursday, we will be having the yoga retreat, and that will be an all-day session. Wow. Listen, family, you can obviously see by now, I mean, you should be in a position where you're saying, I want to be there. I don't know if something is holding you back from coming. I don't know if something is keeping you away, whether it's finance or none of this, all of this stuff here, whether it's obligations. But I know anyone that's conscious in their heart and mind would want to be here for June the 21st. In fact, let me say here, if you think it's money, I would advise that you contact us and get an idea before you make a judgment of exactly how much it's going to cost. Family, listen, I have bent backwards to make sure we find all the loopholes so that this visit, not trip, because we don't want nobody come and trip now and fall down. This visit will be as economical as it can be for our people. So I honestly believe that when you call us or email us and you get the actual price of the whole experience, I am positive you will say, wow, that's a good price. For all of that, trust me. So family, get your family together. Bring the young ones as well. We have accommodations for all of that. We have set it in order for that as well. Remember your stay. You could also see where you're staying, so everything is covered, no surprises. And believe me, family, you'll be well taken care of. And it will be my joy to make sure that your stay with me is, the best stay that you will ever have. When you leave here, it's supposed to be, just tears and hugs and, oh, I wish I didn't have to go. I am positive about that. So yes, family, as I said, it is time now. Anything after now, as I said, we usually have a deadline for these things. We usually have a so-called deadline for, when you make your first down payment and all of this stuff for obvious reasons. Somehow we didn't set that this time around, but let us deal as mature thinkers. Today is the 23rd of May, family. We are looking for you to be here on the 17th of June. That means you've got to start now. If you have not set yourself for this, you got to set yourself now. If you didn't talk to the boss and say, hey boss, I need the day off, I need the week off, I need 2 weeks off, you got to do it now. If you have not contacted us, so at least you know how much money you got to spend, you got to do it now. Don't go wait till tomorrow. Do it now because the time is at hand. And as I said, the quicker that you do that, the best price you'll get for your airfare, that's for sure. Of course, the longer you wait, the price goes up. That's exactly how the airfare works, at least in this region here. So make sure you contact us unless you have a better way of getting a better price for your airfare. It's all good. Any which way it's good for us. And as I said, get to see your accommodations and get a better understanding of the itinerary. Now, I know what I explained. It's easy for you to understand, but at the same time, still contact us so I could send it to you in print, so you know exactly what you're getting. So family, you know what to do. Email us preciseinstitute@gmail.com and get all the information, or you can contact us. Rastafari Experience Antigua, call WhatsApp, area code 1268 714-1227, 714-1227. And of course, you can visit us on Facebook as well, Rastafari Experience Antigua. And you can also visit us on the Instagram, Rastafari Experience Antigua. Now, of course, we had a wonderful program last night as it's called, and I'm talking about In the Tiger's Temple. I'm just going to give you a little recap of what we covered, highlights, not recap, highlights. I'm going to give you some highlights of the vibes we had previous night. It was a real wonderful sit down. Give thanks for all those who were in the house with us. And I think we came to a good conclusion with the understanding of the Bible. You should have been there. That's what I would say. You should have been there. If you need a copy of this, the program, The Temple from previous night, just contact us and you can get a copy of the Tiger's Temple from previous night. All right, let me just give you an idea of what was taking place. Of Jamnia, which is approximately 90 or so CE. Okay, here's the information here. And this is taken from historyofinformation.com. Of course, you know, they had several councils and conferences to kind of ratify modern day Christianity and even the Bible as we know it today. That's very, very important. So let us begin here. The Council of Jamnia. Now, the Council of Jamnia may have been influenced in the process of canonizing the Old Testament. All right. And it says here, and Jamnia also called Yavne, that's in this area here. About 90 CE, Common Era, some people call it AD, Rabbi Yohan ben Zakkai relocated the city of Yavne, Jamnia, and received permission from the Romans to found a school of Jewish law there. The school became a major source of the letter Mishnah or Mishha, which recorded the Tannaim. This school is often understood as a wellspring of rabbinic Judaism. The Council of Yavne, or the Council of Jamnia, thought to have taken place about this time, referred to a hypothetical council under Rabbi Yohan's leadership that, according to tradition, was responsible for defining the canon of the Hebrew Bible. So basically, what that is saying in a nutshell, although some historians consider it hypothetical, the conference itself, so some people say it never really took place, but you can say that about many other things in history. So they're considering now this conference that supposedly took place in the 90s, or 90, pardon me, AD or CE, was responsible for defining the canon of the Hebrew Bible. All right, so we're seeing from 90 CE, 90 AD, highlights 2,000 years ago, basically. Highlights. We are looking at the Hebrew Bible, the canon of the Hebrew Bible being defined, being put together, really. That's what I want to look at. Now, let us check this council here now. We have the Council of Carthage in 490. Now, I know I've passed over the Nicene Council and even the Council of different Nicene Council, etc. and Ephesus and these ones, but I just want to touch here. Now, the Council of Carthage. Let me see, should I read this top part here? Yeah, let me just read the top part here. Councils were nowhere more frequently called in the primitive times than in Africa. I'm going to repeat that again. Councils were nowhere more frequently called in the primitive times than in Africa. Now, the term primitive might somehow knock you off, because when we hear primitive, we think of primates and monkeys or something like Stone Age or something. But primitive just means the first time, primary. So like you have primary school is basically the first school. This is the primary information. So primitive means primitive times is the first times. So as it relates to Christianity, Christendom, and the following of Christ, and biblical knowledge and biblical scriptures, and putting this together, it is saying here that councils were nowhere more frequently called in primitive time than in Africa. So in other words, Africa was basically the hub of the launching of the understanding of what we have as, you know, the tradition of Christ and even the Bible itself. It says here, in the year 1418 to 19, all canons formally
Yes, family highlights.
Where did the Bible really come from? They will tell you the origin of the Bible in the Septuagint. A religious person may not tell you that. Where did the Bible come from? Well, you know, God wrote it with his hand. A sensible religious person might tell you, well, you know, the Bible is a collection of books by holy men. The Torah was really put down, the 5 books of Moses was put down by Moses himself. Got the instructions from God on Mount Sinai. Yeah, fair enough. And if they're intellectual and they do their study, they will tell you the same thing, that, hey, the Torah was translated by 72 individuals, 72 scholars, pardon me, something coming in there. 72 scholars would have brought forward the Septuagint and brought it into modern day, which is modern day at that time, Thomas Sankara, modern day at that time, which is Greece or Greek, the Greek language. All right, good. But I'm saying that this translation took place in this room, a room that was filled with Egyptian scrolls. Let us get scholarly on this fact. Okay, so we have fragments, they say, of the Septuagint today. Sounds good. Now, the Torah that the Septuagint was translated from, where is that Torah today? That cannot be found. And let me just make it clear. I don't even have to stay too long on that. That cannot be found. You see, when you're dealing with a certain level of science, you know, you're looking for the evidence. So I'm saying that the Torah, that the Septuagint, and the Septuagint now being the Greek version of the Torah, the Hebrew version of that same Torah, is nowhere to be found. Now, I'm not saying really that disqualifies the idea that the Septuagint was translated from a Hebrew Torah. Let me say that again. I'm not saying that disqualifies the idea that the Septuagint in 285 was translated from a Hebrew Torah. But if we're dealing with a court of law, we have to have proper evidence. Now, with the lack of that evidence, I could use other evidence which might give you like a different outlook to this story. Because my perspective is, I don't even have to run around the bush. My perspective is that the Septuagint was not translated from a Hebrew book or a Hebrew scroll.
This is just highlights.
And the earth was filled with violence, and God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. This ancient Kemetic figure, his name is Nu as well. That's interesting. So Noah's name is Nu. And this figure here, name is Nu. If you could just mute the mic for me. Noah's name is Nu. And this figure here, name is Nu. Okay, good, interesting. And this figure is a water figure. It's underneath, he's underneath the water. And he's carrying a bark. This is called a bark. That's called a bark. This is called an ark. You see the similarity. And it's 8 figures here. Him, 8 human figures as such. Him and these 7 up here. And you also have Kepra, which is a symbol of God here in the center, carrying the sun. But what I'm saying is that we understand that this is a creation story. Nu is creating the world. That's what's happening here out of the primordial waters. And again, interestingly, Nu is the name of Noah. Noah's name is Nu. And Noah has an ark, and Nu has a bark. But Nu has an ark. Which Nu? Noah. Noah's name is Nu, and he has an ark. Oh, and Nu have a bark. Which Nu? This Nu here. Oh, Nu and Naunet, the Nun. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Of course it's interesting, but this is what we're saying here, family. Remember the story out of the Septuagint was translated in this same room here, where you find the story of Nu. So the Noah story came to life in the room where you could find several scrolls speaking about the creational story of Nu, with the 8 people and the flood and the bark. And we're talking about a story that is thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years old. You understand? That's reality. Now keep in mind, again, Nu or Naunet or the Nun. Remember, Joshua, Moses' protege, is considered the son of Nun. Joshua is a Christ figure. The Nun represents the fish. Again, if you look at Jonah, if you take the J out of Jonah's name, you have the same letters as Noah. And what Jonah is, Jonah, another Christ figure, he was in a boat too. And he was thrown overboard and got swallowed by the fish. That's very symbolic too. You understand? Because Nun is the symbol of the fish as well. So Joshua, the son of Nun, Joshua comes out of the fish. You know, Jonah comes out of the fish as well. Just like in ancient Hindu, Vishnu comes out of the fish. That's why Christ comes out of the Pisces age. That's why you see him with all the fish and the fisher bread, and his companions are fishermen. All of this is symbolism, and I will repeat again, this is how we write our story in ancient Africa.
Highlights.
Shall do, assigned by some biblical scholars to the pseudepigrapher. This is, you could see it here.
Key point.
Yeah, this is the actual
Key point.
And but what about the letter? Okay, hold on, let me carry it back here. Come, family, don't worry. This is a scholarly sit down, you know, family. As I said, next Sunday I intend to have 2 brothers with us who will be giving their outlook on the validity of a lot of what we're talking about, because I'm going to send them, if they're not in the audience tonight, I definitely will be sending them a copy of this so that they could understand, you know, the levels that this thing is all about. Now, here it is. Okay. The very first translation of the Hebrew Bible was made into Greek. Again, probably as early as the 3rd century. This is the so-called Septuagint translation of the Hebrew Bible into Greek. It is traditionally dated to the reign of Ptolemy II Philadelphus of Egypt, 285 to 46. It is commonly called Septuagint version, Latin for 70, because according to the traditional account, it is of its origin preserved in the so-called letter of ARCHAEOASTRONOMY. Okay, that's what I was trying to rush to there. See there? Because according to traditional account of its origin preserved in the so-called letter of Aristeas. It had 72 translators. This letter, hold on, we don't need no more. Oh, sorry. Letter of Aristeas. Okay. So what's the importance of the letter of Aristeas again? No, I don't want to be complicated. The letter of Aristeas is where the story of the Septuagint is preserved. Oh, this is the proof we have of the Septuagint translation. So in other words, if somebody was to doubt, hey, how can you prove that the Septuagint was really translated from the Hebrew scripture? Or well, not the Hebrew scripture, but just the fact that the whole Septuagint translation story is a factual story. What proof do you have of that? Well, it says it is commonly called Septuagint version from the Latin 70 because according to a traditional account of its origin preserved in the so-called Aristeas letter or letter to Aristeas. Okay. Who is the writer to this letter to Aristeas? This is Josephus. Oh, Josephus, that's our boy. Anything Josephus says must be true. Okay, so Josephus, this letter to Aristeas, to Philocrates, speaks of the translation of the Septuagint from the original Hebrew scripts. Okay, good, fair enough. All right. So we're saying, Ras, what's the point? The point is, it says here that it's assigned by some biblical scholars to the pseudepigrapha. Okay. So what does that mean? Okay, let's see. Pseudepigrapha are falsely attributed works, texts whose claim authors is not the true author, or a work whose real author attributed it to a figure of the past. Highlights.
No, go ahead.
No, but I just say that to see what you think of that outlook. You know what I mean? Even simple, it's not just I and I, remember? In the sun. Yeah, it's true. But as I said,
I'm sorry.
And everything else is what the neighbor would possess.
You talked about even the names, even the name Adam, God's first creation. That's Atum.
Atum, yes, true.
Atum was self-created, raw in human form, right? So you have God, and then you have Adam, and in Kemet you had Ra, the sun creator, and then you had Atum, his self-creation, the self-created deity. I'm curious to know about Rastafari's view on how the Bible has been used as a weapon, a tool by the oppressor. I'm curious to find out how Rastafari, honorable priest, his thoughts and opinions on how members of the diaspora, they've taken what I call a bastardized version of Christianity. It's colonized. They've used it to impart mental slavery on our people. I'm just curious to know your thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and anyone else that think they have an answer, feel free to it. But what I would say, highlight very open discussion, family. It may have been, let's just say, so I would be happy to open the floor for anyone. From the letter of Aristotle, it was really translated from the Torah.
So when if you can burn Bible, you need to burn the English language. That's why we never reach England and we talk in English. You see? So when man come with a kind of thing, we have to pay attention to these men who talk in these things.
Yes,
you see? Because Rastafari didn't come out of the elite class and the educated class. It comes from the oppressing of the society. You see? So man need to give thanks and still hold and pay homage to the ancestors and that give us Rastafari liberty. You know? And the Bible still tell you about the ancient civilization come out of the Nile Valley. It's the same thing they had in all the Bible them. You know? So I just have to just say this and let give I 2 cents and that still, you know? Yes, I Rastafari.
Yes, I think it's like how the sister asked. One stage.
Domble, Santeria. And I take all of these things as one and say, these are the things that resonate with me as somebody who is stepping into learning, demystifying, coming into Rastafarianism. So that's my only concern / question.
Even the Quran. Yeah, I think
even the Quran, yeah.
Yes, Starline, I'll make it say what you're saying and then I will still answer her with that one there.
Well, the Bible telling you about the levity of Rasta. That levity come out of the Nile Valley. You see? When I read the books them, ancient books them, it's the same levity I seen of Rastafari. Yeah. You see? That come before the Bible. The Bible telling you about the levity of Rastafari. You see? That's how I see it. That's how I get it. I can't burn it. If it's good for His Majesty, you have to be good for him.
Yeah, positive.
Because I can't go against the if I have conflict with the nucleus of Rastafari, if there's confliction there, then it's gonna be chaos. You see?
My Lord.
Yes,
so
yes.
I can't fall under chaos there. I have to be a defender of this faith.
Sure.
See?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. My Lord.
Yes, Ross Soldier.
Come on. I want to give thanks to the eye for putting on this session here, you know, and for all the works the eye been doing for the Rastafari community in presenting knowledge to I. And I give thanks, you know. I will start by saying, as Rasta man and Rasta woman, I would say it's imperative that we focus on the teachings of His Majesty, because it's easy for us to be, knowledge is infinite. You know, you ain't gonna never read all the books them, you ain't gonna never know everything to them. You understand? But if we focus on what His Majesty show I as Rastafari children, it is sure to lead I in the paths that we need to go.
Yeah, man, family, give thanks. You know, as I said, just giving you a little highlight of exactly what took place previous night. It was a wonderful session. We were there for like almost 3 hours. And as I said, next Sunday in the Tigers Temple, we definitely intend to have some brothers sitting with us. So in other words, I wouldn't be the main presenter. It'll be more like an interview session. And I want to look at the different angles of this as it relates to the Bible. And so the presentation that I gave, you could say that's me. And those of you who were there, even in the background, you would have seen the presentation I gave. Those of you who were not there, you can get the full copy of that video you just watched there a moment ago. You can get the full copy of it so you can sit and sup and take it in, so that when you come to the Tigers Temple next Sunday now, and the brethren now who will be, not a debate, you know, but I'm sure there are going to be different ideas going back and forward as it relates to the Bible. So we can balance this out, you know, at least you have a better mentality. Because we don't want to just come and just, you know, give our opinion and how we feel and how we've been feeling for the last 20 years and how we feel for the last 10 years. And this is my feeling. Feelings are all right, eh? But sometimes, you see, like the presentation I gave last night, there was hardly any opinion in it. And if there was a quote unquote opinion, it was to me an obvious opinion. And I stated that basically from the beginning that I'm going to make sure that I present this without, you know, too much of the feelings and the emotions then, but just as factual as I can, looking at it on a chronological level. That was really my presentation last night. So anybody who would have seen it, you would have appreciated it. Unless you're just, you know, dogmatic to the T, you would have appreciated it, because there's no way I didn't step out of the bounds of reality and truth, you know, and I didn't seek to bring in beliefs the beliefs may not necessarily be falsehood, you know. Not because it's something you believe mean is wrong. You could believe something that's the truth. Maybe you can't prove it, but it's the truth. But we didn't go too far into that realms last night. We really dealt with what we know for a fact, and we put it together. And man, we came to some mystic conclusions. You know, we came to the conclusion that the Bible came straight out of Kemet, straight out of the temples of ancient Egypt, you know, and other conclusions that we came to just because of our reasoning and our understanding. We came to a conclusion that the oldest Bible, not the oldest Bible, and even Ge'ez was an older language than Hebrew. We came to that conclusion by sensible sitting down and reasoning. That conclusion came after the lecture, when the brethren sat down and we pulled some manuscripts there. You know, certain books were highlighted as well. Books from Gerald Massey, J.A. Rogers, you know, certain books were highlighted, Max Todd, Pyramid Prophecy, and we had a real scholarly sit down. And that is what the temple is all about, family. So I'm really looking forward to everyone's presence in the temple this coming Sunday for a wonderful sit down for sure. And definitely, as I said, those of you who will be joining us for the summer solstice, now is the time to contact us. You know what I mean? Not tomorrow, well, you can contact us tomorrow too, you know. But if I was you, at least make that initial contact today so we can definitely set you on your way to be a part of such an experience with us. Wow, I like your light flashing before your eyes. But yeah, just reminding you of the Tigers Temple for sure, every Sunday, 8 p.m. sharp. Looking forward to that, your presence with us. And remember the Tiger's Nest this evening, 7 p.m. Radio Anu, 7 p.m. Radio Anu, the Tiger's Nest. And remember this afternoon, every Monday, 4 o'clock, every Monday, 4 o'clock, Radio Anu. We're talking about youth university. Hey, listen, this is just pure education, university style, temple style, scholarly style. That is what we thrive on, family. It's all about edifying our people on all levels. So bring the youth, all the youth from the homeschool programs, bring the children and let them come and sit in. I'm talking about youth university every Monday, youth university, 4 p.m. sharp. The young ones, the young prince and the young princess, bring enough knowledge and inspiration to you. So family, give thanks. Remember the link for Radio Anu and all the links are in the description below. You don't know the CashApp and the PayPal for those who will be paying for the Tigers Temple. Those who, even the same way you could pay for your experience, but contact us and get the information on the experience. Glorify, life giver and the keeper of life. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari, I, give thanks, blessed Lord.